What's up YouTube, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the Whitaker Group New Balance 1906U or Utility in this electric teal and steel colorway. This is the second of two colorways released between the Whitaker Group, which is the parent company of brands such as A Ma Manière and Social Status, with New Balance. This pack is called the Willful Bias Pack, and they released two pairs of the 1906U, which is a slight tweak on the very popular 1906R. So both of these pairs, so this one along with the Sand Dune colorway, which I already reviewed, these released earlier in July for a price of $170 each, which is roughly 225 or 230 Canadian dollars converted. And the official colorway for this one is Electric Teal, Steel, Gulf Red, and Olivine. And the style code for this shoe is M1906NK1. So like I explained in the other video, this whole concept of willful bias refers to the fact that oftentimes the justice system, which is supposed to be blind, is actually prejudiced against people of color. So there's this willful bias that's in place, which means certain people under the law are treated differently. And from this message comes two colorways of the 1906U, this one which I'm going to review for you guys right now. So diving into the details of this shoe, the base layer of this sneaker is constructed out of a very light gray colored mesh with a reflective silver layer underneath, so when you hit the shoe with direct flash, for example, it's going to light up. Right above this, holding the laces in place, we have this synthetic leather in gray with a silver New Balance N logo, and then surrounding the lateral side, we have more of that synthetic dark gray colored leather, and then on the medial side, we have this textured and tough perforated overlay, which has this rubberized or TPU coating on top. And then underneath this, as well as surrounding the lateral front toe box, we have this synthetic silver colored leather. Moving downwards, covering the middle two eyelets, we have these teal colored woven eyelets which extend downwards past the New Balance N logo, and this is what New Balance calls their N-lock technology. So basically when you tighten up the laces, you're pulling these woven strips inwards, giving you additional containment and support around the midfoot area. Next to this, you can see we have more of a combination of that synthetic silver leather, as well as that darker gray leather. And then on the lateral side, we have 1906U branding. Covering the bottom of the heel, we have this dark blue TPU heel cup, which has a reflective 3M layer underneath. And this gives you additional structure and support around the back end of the sneaker. In the middle, we have NB branding, and then on the top of the heel, we have these three horizontal strips of reflective 3M, which is done in this salmon-like color. For the laces, this pair comes with two different lace options. The standard lace that they come with is a flat style blue colored lace, but they also come with a bright teal colored lace if you want to give the shoe a little bit more pop of color. Underneath this, we have a padded tongue, which is constructed out of a combination of mesh and that reflective layer underneath, just like the body of the shoe itself. And then covering the top of the tongue, we have a layer of that dark gray synthetic material, and in the center, instead of your typical NB branding, we have WB branding for willful bias. And then on the back of the tongue, we have this tag which states Willful Bias for Community and the New Balance logo. So the back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in this teal colored liner, which really pops. And then for the insoles, these come with a decently padded foam lined insole, and we have this graphic of Lady Liberty, but instead of being blindfolded like she typically is, you'll actually see that the blindfold is lifted, which is a nod to the willful bias concept. So the upper of the shoe sits atop this midsole, which I believe is constructed out of New Balance's Absorb technology. I know sometimes the 1906 is crafted out of Activa or Activa Light, so it's most likely one of those types of technologies, but either way, it's painted in a mix of gray, this orange colored hit on the lateral forefoot, and this dark blue on the heel. And we also have New Balance's Energy technology, which is visible with these teal colored pods on the lateral heel, and this helps with impact protection and shock absorption. For the outsole, so this is your typical 1906 outsole, this is all constructed out of a blue colored rubber. We have these flex grooves to give you added flexibility along with this diamond shaped traction pattern. And underneath the rubber in the middle, we have New Balance's Stability Web technology, which is a TPU shank plate, which is there to help with torsional rigidity and midfoot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. And for those wondering about sizing, so in my opinion, the 1906U typically runs roomier than a normal 1906R. So usually I go true to size in the 1906R. I went true to size for this pair, which in my case is a size 10, and they fit me a little bit roomier than a normal 1906. I do have to say though, this pair runs a little bit more true to size than the Sand Dune colorway. That one for sure was probably closer to a 1/4 to 1/2 inch larger, whereas this pair wasn't nearly as roomy. Still, if you're kind of in between sizes and you like more of a snug one-to-one fit, I feel like you could go down to the smaller size, but if you have a wider foot, or if you don't mind more of a roomy fit, then just stick true to size and you should be okay. To give you guys a point of comparison, I also wear a size 10 or true to size in other silhouettes like the 860 V2, 2002R, and a lot of the made in UK models like the 991 and the 1500, whereas I usually go a half size down to a 9.5 in a lot of the made in USA models like the 990 series, 992, and 993. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel pretty much like any other 1906, which in my opinion is a very comfortable sneaker. It's not going to be the softest shoe on the market, but it has a decent amount of plushness underfoot while still giving you a lot of support. So all things considered, I say that this is a model that's a little bit more on the firmer side, but it's still very comfortable for everyday use. So if I'm going on vacation, for example, I would definitely not hesitate to pick a 1906 to rock. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality on this colorway I thought was a little bit worse than the sand dune pair. For this pair in comparison, it feels like it's all synthetic instead. So the materials I thought were a bit of a downgrade, but the overall build of the shoe I thought was okay. It wasn't perfect by any means, there were some glue stains around the midsole area, but other than that, nothing really major to complain about. So with all of that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up and I'll show you guys how these look. This colorway for sure is the more daring, more risk-taking, and more vibrant colorway of the two, so I can see why a lot of people are gravitating more towards this one compared to the sand dune colorway. For me though, I'm not a huge fan of this color. Don't get me wrong, it looks decent, but it's not really a color combination that I could see myself wearing that much. But I love how they gave us one pair that's a little bit more muted and another pair that's a little bit louder, giving us the best of both worlds. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Whitaker Group and New Balance 1906U in this electric teal or steel colorway? What are your overall thoughts on this pair, and between this one and the sand dune or shadow gray colorway, which of the two pairs do you guys prefer? As usual though, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at sgo8. Check me out on X at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. So thank you everyone for watching. A big shout out goes out to the team at the Whitaker Group for always looking out for me. I appreciate the continued love and support everyone, and I'll catch you all in my next review.